Hey everyone, welcome back to 10 Binge. If you caught part 1 of our top 10 best hidden gem TV series, you know we covered some real gems. Well, it's time for the second part, and I've got some more underrated series that I bet you haven't seen yet. But you definitely should. Let's dive into the list and find your next binge-worthy show. For number 10, Hellbound from 2021 to 2024 and has 2 seasons. Each episode's a trip and it's sitting at a 6.6 out of 10 rating, which honestly doesn't capture how wild this show gets. The whole thing kicks off when these creepy, otherworldly creatures start showing up out of nowhere and straight up dragging people to hell in public, in broad daylight. No one knows why certain people are chosen, but it's brutal and terrifying. And yeah, it totally flips society upside down. Then this intense religious group starts rising, claiming it's all divine justice. They basically say, if you got condemned, you must have done something terrible. And things just get darker from there. Fear, control, and chaos. Hellbound is definitely worth the ride. And honestly, kinda hard to stop watching once you start. Moving to number 9. Z Nation from 2014 to 2018. If you're into wild zombie adventures with a mix of chaos and comedy, this might be your thing. It ran for 5 seasons and it's got a 6.7 out of 10 rating. Not perfect, but definitely a fun ride. The story kicks off 3 years after a zombie virus has wrecked the US. Everything's gone to hell, and a small group of random, everyday folks are stuck with a big mission. Get the only known survivor of the virus all the way from New York to California. Why? Because his blood might be the key to saving humanity, and there's one last working lab out there waiting for him. But of course, the road trip doesn't go smoothly. There are zombies, a lot of them. It's not The Walking Dead, and that's the point. Z Nation embraces the madness. It's worth binging. Just be ready for some weird turns along the way. Now number 8, Medium from 2005 to 2011, and honestly, it's kind of a hidden gem. It ran for 7 seasons and has a pretty solid 7.1 out of 10 rating. It follows Allison. She's a regular suburban mom with a husband, kids, the whole deal. But here's the twist. She sees dead people in her dreams. The spirits show her how they died or help her uncover crimes, and she ends up using those visions to help solve real-life cases. What's cool is that the show isn't just about crime solving, it's also about her trying to juggle this intense ability while still being a wife and mom. So you get that mix of supernatural mystery and relatable family stuff. It's a unique blend of the paranormal and everyday life that actually feels grounded, which make it definitely worth a watch. For number 7, Falling Skies from 2011 to 2015, and it's actually pretty solid. It ran for 5 seasons and has a 7.1 out of 10 rating as well. Not bad at all for a sci-fi series. The whole thing starts after Earth gets hit hard by an alien invasion. Cities are destroyed, most of the population's gone, and the few survivors left are just trying to stay alive. But it's not just about hiding. They actually start fighting back. That's where it gets interesting. The main focus is on this group of everyday people, teachers, kids, and ex-soldiers who come together to form a resistance. It's got battles, drama, some emotional moments, and yeah, lots of alien chaos. It's less about aliens and more about human survival and hope. It's not perfect, but if you like post-apocalyptic stories, Falling Skies is worth a shot. It feels kinda underrated, honestly. Next up, number 6. Sleepy Hollow from 2013 to 2017, one of those shows that takes a wild idea and actually makes it work. It ran for 4 seasons and it's sitting at a 7.3 out of 10 rating, which makes sense, because it's way more fun than I expected. The story kicks off with Ichabod Crane. Yeah, the guy from the old legend, but this time he wakes up in the present day, like 250 years after he died. And he's not just confused about iPhones and cars, he's thrown right into this creepy, supernatural mystery that ties all the way back to the Founding Fathers. He ends up teaming up with a modern-day cop, and together they deal with demons, secret societies, apocalyptic stuff, and yeah, the Headless Horseman. It's like National Treasure met Supernatural, and that's the perfect vibe. If you're into weird mysteries, time travel twists, and a little monster hunting, Sleepy Hollow is a fun ride. Moving to number 5. Alice in Borderland of 2020, it ran for 2 seasons, and the 3rd season is dropping in September 2025. It's rated 7.7 out of 10 rating, and it totally earns that score. The story follows Arisu, this dude who's kind of drifting through life. No job, obsessed with video games, just kinda lost. Then, out of nowhere, he and his friends get pulled into this weird, empty version of Tokyo. And here's the catch. The only way to stay alive is to play these intense, deadly games that test everything. Your smarts, your teamwork, and how far you're willing to go to survive. It's got that crazy energy where every episode leaves you wondering who's gonna make it and what the hell is even going on behind all of this. If you liked Squid Game or Battle Royale, this one's right up your alley, but with a cool sci-fi twist and a lot more world building. Coming up next, number 4. The Good Doctor from 2017 to 2024, it's honestly really good. It ran for 7 seasons and has an 8 out of 10 rating, which totally makes sense once you start watching. The story follows Sean Murphy, a young surgeon who's got autism and savant syndrome. He's insanely talented when it comes to medicine, like he sees things other doctors don't. But it's not just about the surgeries. What really hits is watching him try to fit into this high-pressure hospital world while dealing with how people see him and treat him differently. It's a beautiful mix of medical drama and real human connection. If you're into shows like House or Grey's Anatomy but want something with a different perspective, The Good Doctor is definitely one to check out. Now, number 3. Fringe from 2008 to 2013, one of those shows you gotta watch. It ran for 5 seasons and it's rocking a solid 8.4 out of 10 rating. Well deserved. And it kicks off with this FBI agent who basically gets thrown into the deep end. She has to team up with a brilliant but kinda crazy scientist and his son to deal with all these super weird, unexplained cases, like stuff that'll have you questioning reality. And the deeper they dig, the crazier it gets. Parallel universes, secret experiments, all that good sci-fi chaos. It starts out like X-Files, but then turns into something even bigger and way more addicting. It's one of those shows that starts off good and just keeps leveling up the more you watch. If you love mystery, science fiction, and a little bit of emotional storytelling on the side, Fringe is definitely worth the ride. As for number 2, Moving of 2023, which totally surprised me in the best way. With just 1 season so far, rated 8.4 out of 10, it deserves that love. And the good news, Season 2 is officially confirmed and starting production in 2025, so it's not over yet. The story follows 3 high school students who seem pretty normal at first, but turns out they've each got some insane superhuman powers passed down from their parents. Things are all good until this creepy secret organization starts coming after them. What I loved is that it's not just action and powers, it's super emotional too. You really start to care about the characters, and the mix of mystery, school life, and danger keeps you hooked, which makes Moving definitely one to check out. And finally, number 1 on the list. The IT Crowd from 2006 to 2013, and it's just pure comedy gold, which ran for 5 hilarious seasons and it's sitting at a solid 8.5 out of 10 rating, really one of my favorites. It's all about this super awkward IT department buried in the basement of a big company. You've got Roy, who's always annoyed, Moss, who's a total lovable nerd, and Jen, who somehow became their manager despite knowing absolutely nothing about computers. Add in a bunch of weird bosses and ridiculous situations, and you've got a show that just never stops being funny. The jokes are sharp, the characters are unforgettable, and you'll probably end up quoting it without realizing. If you like shows like The Office or Brooklyn Nine-Nine but want something even quirkier, The IT Crowd is definitely worth the binge. And that's a wrap for part 2. I hope you found some hidden gems to add to your watch list. Let me know in the comments which one you're most excited to check out, or if you've already seen some of them. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss part 3. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.